Until today, when you thought of Seattle, this is what came to mind. But that is about to change.
Seattle, the NHL is thrilled to welcome you.
I would like to introduce the first ever head coach of the Seattle Kraken, Dave Haxtell.
Building a hockey team from the ground up is really exciting.
Over 100 years ago, the Seattle Metropolitans became the first American team to be awarded the Stanley Cup and some of the last faces to represent hockey in this city. That is, until today.
Welcome to Gasworks Park in Seattle. This is the 2021 NHL Expansion Draft, presented by Upper Deck. Now, please welcome the Commissioner of the NHL, Gary Bettman.
The booing is okay. It just means you're hockey ready. Good afternoon, everyone here in Seattle. What a magnificent day. And we are thrilled as a league to be here with you. Welcome to the 2021 NHL Expansion Draft. Look around on this magnificent day. Look at all the people that are here. And yes, with the booing and all these people, you are ready for NHL hockey. You have a great ownership group, starting with David Bonderman and Jerry Bruckheimer and their partners. You know you have General Manager Ron Francis. You have Head Coach Dave Hextall. And you have heard from the incomparable Todd Leiweke, who runs this club for this community. You couldn't have a better leadership team. And today I toured Climate Change Arena, and you couldn't have a better facility to watch your team play in. And it's clear to me, while Seattle has always been a great sports town, you are going to be, you already are, passionate hockey fans. So once again, Seattle, welcome to the NHL. But there's one more thing we need to do to get the team up and running, and that is to name the first players that will wear the Seattle Kraken uniform. These players will forever be known as the original Seattle Kraken, your Seattle Kraken. So let's get started. It's my pleasure to introduce from another new NHL team member, those at ESPN, Chris Fowler and Dominic Moore. And Seattle, it's going to be great to see you opening night.
Thank you, Gary. Hello, Seattle. Hockey fans, old and new, welcome. This is incredible out here. It's crazy over there on the kayaks. It's insane back here in the boats. Look at the backdrop of your beautiful city. We know how hungry you are for hockey. It's been decades in the making. There have been some ups and downs. You've had to be patient. This ownership group has finally made this happen, and season tickets sold out in 12 minutes with a long waiting list. That is an awesome statement right there.
You know, Chris, this has definitely got a bit of a college game day feel to it. And so, in your honor, and in the honor of this event, we know how much our guys backstage love a pun, so we got a sign here.
Excellent penmanship, Dom. That's awesome work.
Thank you. Thank you.
I can tell you that the Huskies are among the teams in the city that supported great, and the energy in this building is going to be phenomenal. Cool name, the Kraken. For those of you not from Seattle, it's a legendary sea monster with tentacles and temper. You can see the ground rules here that the Kraken had to work with. They select 30 players, one from each team except Las Vegas. Same ground rules the Knights had 4 years ago. You can protect between 9 and 11 players. We're not going to bog down in the minutia. There are various considerations, financial and stuff, but very well-known players were unprotected and available, including Mark Giordano, the Calgary captain, former Norris Trophy winner, a lifelong Flame, been there 15 years. Another team captain, Gabe Landeskog of the Avalanche. Negotiations there have been a little tense. We'll see what his future is. Carey Price, superb goaltender of Montreal. Rumors have the Habs fans on edge, Dominic.
As they should be. A lot of intrigue heading in to this day. And obviously PK Subban, a star player in this league, and Tarasenko, a guy that can fill the net. All these guys available here today.
As the commissioner said, the first roster announced. We'll have the details on the Kraken home opener coming up in this show. We know they're going to be opening on the road against Las Vegas, and expectations are high because what the Golden Knights did 4 years ago with the expansion draft.
Yeah, I mean, they've set the bar high, and it's a tough act to follow, but today it's about, there's 30 picks to choose from, but only 23 will end up on that ultimate opening day roster. So it's about building a team in the short term, but also for the long term.
We saw some of the Seattle legends who were helped to announce the picks there. Gary Payton and Sean Kemp, both serious hockey fans, they tell us. All-Pro linebacker Bobby Wagner from the Seahawks, and Macklemore is here. Another legend, he tells us, is the third member of our team tonight, a 12-year NHL veteran between the pipes. He's been very busy today. Kevin Weeks, folks. Welcome, Kevin. Where haven't you been?
Around the world. We just mentioned the legends that are here in attendance, and the great Sean Kemp. Thank you so much, Tom. The great Sean Kemp, the great Gary Payton, among other legends that are here, but also the outstanding fans. And I want to echo the fact that these fans have been amazing so far, and it's been a lot of fun. It's been great. I had the opportunity to see some of the very iconic sights and sounds, and we had the chance to announce some picks from there. So we look forward to the enthusiasm from you great fans, the amazing ownership group that they have here, as Commissioner Bettman echoed, and the great management team. This is world-class, and you're in for a great, great time with this soon-to-be world-class franchise.
Off you go, man. You got a lot of places to cover. We'll see you all over the place in this area in the next 90 minutes or so.
Thank you so
Kevin,
much.
thank you. All right, time now to bring out a hockey legend in his own right, the man who is leading this Kraken brain trust and choosing these players here, a Hall of Famer, number 2 all-time to Wayne Gretzky in assists. And the guy who's been extremely busy here, General Manager Ron Francis. How amazing is this? I had no problem.
Today, so what a great event we have here.
Tell us what's gone into the last few days of preparation, last few weeks maybe. Have you slept? Is your phone battery charged down?
I think we slept a little more than we thought, maybe going into it, but you know, all our staff is sitting here in the front row, and got to give a lot of credit to them. They worked so hard these last year and a half. It wasn't the easiest situation with COVID, but they did a tremendous job. We were well prepared going in, and it went well for us.
What is the challenge for this organization in putting together this first list of 30 original Seattle Kraken?
Well, there's so many things you're looking for, right? I mean, teams get to protect their 7 best forwards, their 3 best defensemen, and their best goaltenders, so we get to look after that. A little bit different environment this time around with COVID and the cap staying flat, so some different sort of tweaks as it went along. But, you know, for us, when we're looking, we want players with character. We certainly want players that compete hard. You want guys that can skate and have skill, no question, and hockey sense. So we tried to build that kind of thing, and we're starting tonight with our first look at what our team is, and we'll see where we end up when we get to October.
All right, let's begin to fill in the draft board back here. The podium is yours, Ron. This moment of Seattle Kraken history, the very first expansion draft pick.
Thank you.
It's all yours. Going to announce these picks, by the way, by division, beginning with the Atlantic in alphabetical order. So first up will be the Boston Bruins.
So from the Boston Bruins, the Seattle Kraken select Jeremy Lauzon.
Well, Jeremy Lauzon, you want a competitive player. That's what Lauzon is. He has size and reach. And he's been a very effective player for Boston on the penalty kill. He's got a rugged edge to his game, has played a key role defensively, blocking shots, making hits, and at just 24, he has a lot of potential still to grow into. So a great opening pick for the Kraken.
You like to have guys that are unafraid to do the dirty work, right? Blocking shots, hitting people.
Absolutely.
All right, next up in alphabetical order, the Buffalo Sabres, who are on the clock, by the way, the only team picking ahead of the Kraken in Friday night's draft. A lot of turmoil there, a lot of new head coaches, 4 in the last 5 years, 10 straight years, no playoffs. So we'll see what the Sabres can offer here. Perhaps
you're rubbing it in there.
Perhaps, yeah, sorry, Sabres fan. Those are facts. To introduce the Sabres pick, please welcome to the stage another absolute Seattle legend, a Hall of Famer as a player and a coach, led the Supersonics to an NBA title, still calls Seattle home, Coach Lenny Wilkens. Lenny, welcome.
Thank you.
What is seen here? I'm told that along your various stops, coaching hoops, you have become a passionate hockey fan as well.
Well, see, you got to know about Providence College. All right, Providence College had great hockey teams and still do. And I used to bump with them once in a while on the ice, but just a little bit.
Well, I know you know about building a roster and building chemistry, so let's begin to unravel the pieces of this puzzle here. You have the announcement of the Buffalo Sabres contribution to the Kraken.
Well, I certainly do. And look at that corral. I mean, isn't that
crazy?
unbelievable? You're going to do it. You're going to do it. But from the Buffalo Sabres, the Seattle Kraken select Will Borgen.
I really like this pick, Chris. He's only played 14 NHL games, but Morgan is a really gifted athlete and a strong skater. One of those guys that's a late bloomer. He really developed quickly during his time at St. Cloud State, and we'll see what he can become. He's just 24 years old as well.
So defense with the first 2 picks. Lenny, thank you. Time now to shift things to the Detroit Red Wings. Steve Yzerman, a very important summer, a serious rebuilding job in Detroit. A whole lot of holes to fill there. Bottom 5 in goal differential. Now, to help us reveal the pick from Detroit, a special guest from the Seattle Aquarium. Why not bring out an octopus? Because Detroit fans
very appropriate.
made octopi famous by chucking them on the ice. So this is licorice. Licorice makes the aquarium home, and licorice will now reveal the pick as has never been done before. And the pick is Dennis Chalowski, who's a Vancouver area native. He's coming much closer to home, and that makes 3 defensemen and 3 picks.
That's the first 3 picks are all pretty similar, actually, Chris. Another defenseman where it's all about potential. Dennis has only played 16 NHL games last season, but he's gifted offensively, 27 points in 104 career NHL games, which is pretty respectable for a young D-man. You know, on teams like Buffalo and Detroit where there's no clear established player to take, I think you got to go with guys like Chalowski and Bergen that have a lot of room to grow.
Yeah, and a first-round pick 5 years ago. He's seen his opportunities decline. He'll have an opportunity here.
He certainly
to
will.
contribute big time. Hey, Kraken has attacked one of the yachts out there in the harbor. You just got to love the spirit and the enthusiasm and the folks here, a nice sense of humor.
You want those kind of tentacles on your decor, that's for sure.
Speaking of folks who are in high spirits as they watch this whole thing unfold, the Angry Beaver is known as the hockey bar here. We got Avalanche fans here, Maple Leafs fans, Flyers fans, Capitals fans, and we hope a whole lot of Kraken fans. Much more coming up in the 2021 Expansion Draft from Seattle.
The 2021 NHL Expansion Draft is presented by Upper Deck. Collect the best.
Welcome back to Seattle in the sunshine. A celebratory party as the folks here get a look at the first 30 members of the 32nd NHL franchise, the Seattle Kraken, come to you from Gasworks Park, just across the lake from downtown Seattle. 3 names so far on the draft board. A reminder, these are not the names in the order which Ron Francis' company selected them. They're all put into the central registry at the same time. We're just revealing them alphabetical order by division here. So next up, Florida, trending the right way. 4th most points but the bad luck of running into Tampa in the playoffs, and that spelled doom for them. And now we'll go back to Ron and see who the Panthers will contribute to this new franchise.
Thank you. From the Florida Panthers, the Seattle Kraken select Chris Driedger. Seattle Kraken, Chris Driedger.
Chris, welcome. By the way, this is the big reveal. This is the brand new Kraken home jersey. How does that feel on, and what do you think of this scene here, Chris?
Yeah, it's a pretty incredible sight. Great to see everyone here. Tons of energy. You know, I flew in this morning, and there was just a bit of a buzz in the city. So this is incredible and really exciting time. So I'm excited to get started.
It's a long journey, South Florida to Seattle, but welcome to your new home.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, Chris, it took a long time to kind of prove yourself and establish yourself as a proven NHL goalie. What's this moment mean to you, to be a part of this group?
Yeah, I mean, it's a life-changing moment for me, for sure. It's been a long road. Spent a few years in the minors, and yeah, went from Florida for the last 2 seasons, but to have my start here, you know, with the expansion team in Seattle and be a part of the Kraken is pretty incredible. So, you know, I'm really excited to get things started.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Thanks for making the long journey in. Sit back and relax. Now we'll watch the rest of the roster get filled out. Chris, all right. Wish you well, man.
Take care.
All right, next up in the order, Montreal Canadiens. Ron, the selection there.
From the Montreal Canadiens, the Seattle Kraken select Cale Fleury.
Cale Fleury, a forward.
Yep, and seems to be good luck to take a Fleury in the expansion draft. So Fleury's a right shot defenseman. Showed some promise in juniors in the AHL, and he actually played against his brother Hayden in his first NHL game in 2019. So Seattle will be hoping he'll take the next step in his development here.
Drafting a Fleury in the expansion draft was a very good move by Las Vegas 4 years ago. We'll see as Cale joins the team. Now, Ron, there are hockey fans around the world that have been speculating that goaltender Carey Price might be a new member of the Kraken. He was out there available. What's going on behind the scenes in terms of the Price situation?
Well, I think anytime you see a name like Carey Price available, you have to consider it. And certainly we did that. We had a lot of discussions, and at the end of the day, we made the decision that we did and go in a different direction.
Well, we'll welcome Mr. Fleury to the roster. I think Habs fans are maybe breathing a sigh of relief.
Yeah, just, I mean, you think about the salary cap situation. It's really important in a new team to keep that flexibility. I'm sure there's so many factors go into building a team, Chris. You know, salary cap, the age of the player, and, you know, this is a long-term thing. And obviously, a lot of moving parts for Ron and his staff.
All right, next up, the Ottawa Senators, team that struggled in the division. A very young team, most of the top talent under 25, so a lot of guys not available to be picked here. And that did not leave a whole lot of choices, perhaps. But to announce the pick from the Senators, please welcome to the stage a Seattle legend, Grammy Award winner, and a huge sports guy, Macklemore. Welcome. This is in some ways a hockey version of Thrift Shop.
Very, very similar.
Looking for value here, so
completely.
The stage is yours to announce.
Seattle, what's going on? You guys ready? I said, are you guys ready? Me too, man. New chapter in the city. This is an amazing thing. I'm fired up. From the Ottawa Senators, the Seattle Kraken select Joey Daccord.
He's a goaltender, former ASU Sun Devil, coming off surgery and hasn't played a lot of NHL hockey.
No, he's only 24, 9 NHL starts, but he's looked really promising. He was a finalist for the top goaltender award his senior year at Arizona State, led them to the playoffs, and for the first time, it's important to have depth, Chris, in that goaltending position. That's exactly what Daccord will bring to the Kraken.
Now to Tampa Bay, the two-time defending Stanley Cup champions. They did a good job protecting a lot of their defensive stalwarts. They did leave some forwards exposed, so let's talk about the pick from the champs. And Macklemore, you have the card there.
From the Tampa Bay Lightning, the Seattle Kraken select Yanni Gourde.
So Yanni Gourde, a gritty, skilled centerman.
Yeah, Gourde.
A nice round of applause.
He's, one of the most important players on this Cup champion team. He's a momentum-changing player who does it all. There's not that many players in the league that can do a little bit of everything. That's exactly what Yanni Gourde does. He's tenacious on the forecheck and just a relentless player overall. There were a lot of good players available, Chris, from Tampa, but this is an awesome pick.
Penalty killer, face-up guy. It's nice to have a guy who's got his name on the Stanley Cup a couple of times, right, as you bring together a team of guys and try to develop chemistry.
For sure, and you look at those teams like Tampa that are so stacked, there were some options to be sure.
So Yanni, it's a short off season. Rest up and get ready for all this energy in Seattle when you make your way up here. Next up, the Toronto Maple Leafs. Speaking of restless fan bases, Dom, as you well know, the strong regular season kind of forgotten as they blew the 3-1 lead to Montreal. They have the longest Stanley Cup drought in history. It's going to be, what, about 20,000 days very soon.
Wait, how long was the Sabres drought? Now you're rubbing in the Leafs drought?
Should I bring up 16 years with no series wins? We will go to long distance poking. The border's opening soon. I better be careful. Let's go back to Kevin Weeks, the iconic Pike Place Fish Market, to reveal the choice from the Maple Leafs.
Well, you can't come to Seattle without coming to the iconic Pike Place Market. Now, for today's purposes, we're going to call this Pick Place for obvious reasons. I'm fortunate to be joined by one of the owners here in Jason. Now, Jason, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
How much does this Kraken cost right here?
You can't afford it. Sorry. Sorry.
All right, well, with that, the Seattle Kraken select from the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Crack Jack. Hey. Oh. Forward, Jared McCann.
Chris and Don, back to you guys.
Yeah.
There has never been a pick made like that.
No, for sure. And if you're looking for the pick like William Karlsson or Jonathan Marchessault from 2017, where an undervalued player becomes a star, this is the guy. Jared McCann playing behind Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin in Pittsburgh. And take this, Chris, when Malkin was out, McCann took his spot on the power play, had the most goals per minute in the league on the power play while Malkin was out. So I'm sure Alexander Mandrycky and the analytics staff here in Seattle were crunching the numbers on that.
We'll talk more about the analytics. Kind of a whirlwind week for McCann, just traded from Pittsburgh a few days ago. Now he's headed to Seattle. There's some speculation that might go with Alexander Kerfoot, a goal scorer with two different teams in recent years. But talk about the importance of centers and why they're so hard to find in expansion drafts.
Well, I mean, you look around the league, the centers are the top players on all the teams, so they tend to be protected. So in the expansion draft situation, there's not a lot of top centers available. So you look at Kerfoot, you look at McCann. McCann is a guy with, given the opportunity, he can really blossom. So there's a real commodity. If you look at Vegas, despite all the success that they've had, they've got strength in goal, strength on D, and some talented wingers. Their Achilles heel is still a little bit down the middle.
Before we leave this segment, I've got some gloves. Dom, you lost the coin toss, so put on the gloves.
Okay.
Bring out the fish.
Okay.
And let's see your skills. This guy delivered 1,000 great passes in an NHL career, so let's see if you still got the skills.
Oh boy, here we go.
JT Brown over here
is
going to
easy
make
on
the catch.
Camera, but we've got JT Brown here, guys. Your newest hockey analyst for the Seattle Kraken. He's going to show off his hands here. You ready? I don't want to overthrow it. You got to be careful back there. Hey!
A completed pass. You still got it, Don. You still got it. Thank you, JT. All right, when we come back, Supersonics legends, Gary Payton, Sean Kemp, Sue Bird will weigh in. A pick from Mount Rainier and the 3 New York teams in the Metropolitan, all coming up on the expansion draft from Seattle.
The 2021 NHL Expansion Draft is presented by Upper Deck. Collect the best. Once again, your hosts for the 2021 NHL Expansion Draft, presented by Upper Deck, Chris Fowler and Dominic Moore.
So 64 years after the original 6 doubled with expansion, the 9th Expansion Draft in NHL history, the second in 20 years. 8 picks have been revealed. We shift now to the Metropolitan Division and continue in alphabetical order. Carolina Panthers up next, a regular playoff team, and Dom is out in the audience with some special guests and a very inspiring group. Dom?
Yeah, thank you, Chris. I'm here with Chanel Keenan from the Kraken, as well as members of the Washington Wild from the Western Washington Female Hockey Association. Hey, guys. And the Wild are here as part of the Kraken's Hockey is for Everyone initiative. And Chanel, can you tell us about your role and about why the Wild are such a great story?
You know, the Wild are part of our great idea of making sure that hockey is for everyone. And starting at the youth level, we believe that, you know, all girls, all genders should be playing the sport of hockey.
Well, it's great to have you guys here. And are you guys ready to help us make the next pick?
Yep. From the Carolina Hurricanes, the Seattle Kraken select Morgan Geekie.
All right, Morgan Geekie, the next pick. And Morgan Geekie played his junior hockey right here in the state of Washington with the Tri-City Americans. He's a fast, hard-working forward whose role and minutes continued to grow over the course of his 36 games for Carolina last year. He's only 23 and will fit in well to this versatile forward group that Ron and his staff are assembling. And Chris, this is a familiar face for Ron Francis.
Drafted him at Carolina. Not often does a GM get a chance to draft the same player twice, so we have that distinction. Now to Columbus. They're going to be very busy on Friday. They have 3 first-round picks, number 5, number 28, and number 32, and they are in desperate need of players, struggling again. So let's see who the Blue Jackets contribute to the Kraken franchise. Ron?
From the Columbus Blue Jackets, the Seattle Kraken select Gavin Bayreuther.
Another defenseman, but a guy who was a pretty prolific offensive defenseman at the AHL level. 29 points each of his first 3 seasons with Texas. Also an alum of St. Lawrence University, where he was a very prolific defensive scorer as well. Time now for the struggling New Jersey Devils. Missing the playoffs 8 of the last 9 years. We keep pointing this out. I don't mean to. Again, these are facts. Defensive issues. I mean, they got a lot of goals from the rookies. So they got rookie scorers, young talent. They do own a couple of first-round picks. But let's see who the Devils contribute to this brand-new franchise. Back to Kevin, who's motoring around Seattle. Kevin, where are you now?
We're back here at the iconic Pike Place in Seattle. Now, of course, this is more than just catching and throwing fish. We've got jewelry here. We've got flowers. We have over 200 craftspeople, and we're here at the Leatherworks station with Liberty Bracken. Liberty, I see you rocking the Kraken hat. Tell us your thoughts on the logo.
I think it's beautiful and encompasses the city of Seattle really well.
To that end, the Seattle Kraken select from the New Jersey Devils, forward Nathan Bastian. Don,
I like
Chris,
the reel.
Back to you guys.
Yeah, one of the things Ron Francis and Dave Haxtell need to do is fill out those bottom 6 forwards, and Bastian has an inside track to be an important part of that group. He can play all 3 forward positions. He's a young, physical forward, Chris, with good size. Look for him to make his way onto that 3rd or 4th line.
Yeah, solid contributor. You go back to the last 120 NHL games, 62 points from Bastian. Shift now to the 2 New York City teams, actually, as we see Bastian joining the big board here. Islanders made a strong playoff push, 3rd round again. Second fewest goals allowed. They don't have a first-round pick on Friday. Lou Lamoriello, interesting offseason, maybe looking to make a big splash in the free agent market. Interesting choices of the guys he left unprotected, too. So we'll get to that in a second. But to announce, or at least to set up the pick, a Long Island native and a legend here, Sue Bird from the Seattle WNBA franchise. She's about to represent Team USA in Tokyo, her 5th Olympics. And she's going to be one of the flag bearers. So she could not be here with us in person, but Sue, take it away.
Hey everyone, I'm Sue Bird, the point guard for the Seattle Storm. I'm so sorry that I couldn't be there for the expansion draft today, but you're definitely in good hands. First of all, let's go Kraken. Second of all, Ron, tell us who your pick is from my hometown team, the New York Islanders.
Okay, Sue, from the New York Islanders, the Seattle Kraken select Jordan Eberle. Please welcome the newest member of the Seattle Kraken, Jordan Eberle.
Jordan, welcome. This is the debut of the new Kraken road jerseys. Pretty sweet.
Yeah, it looks good.
How does it feel to walk out into this energy? I mean, it's got to be a unique experience for a player. You find you're on Long Island, now you're in the Pacific Northwest, and seeing all your new fans.
Yeah, it's amazing turnout to everyone here in the boats. This is really the first time for me in Seattle other than junior, but to see the passion here, the fans, obviously very, very excited.
Yeah, and Jordan, just wanted to ask you too, you've been so close to that Stanley Cup the last 2 years. What excites you about this new challenge of the birth of a franchise here in Seattle?
Well, it's a new challenge, just like you said. You don't get many opportunities to be part of a new franchise, and you know, anytime you get that opportunity, you can bring a cup to a city that's never had it before. That's pretty special.
All right, Jordan, you look sharp. Appreciate you being here. Get settled in, and then we'll continue to fill out the board and see who your teammates are. By the way, there's a upper deck draft card. That's not a bad look. We'll have to get the uniforms changed. All right, now, we'll keep it in New York. New York Rangers pick. Please welcome Seattle Sounders former captain. Soccer fans here, do we have any Sounders fans? Tremendous support for this franchise. Tremendously popular player, but he's with the Sounders. Please welcome Brad Evans.
Brad.
Now, Brad, this is a somewhat familiar experience. I don't know what the Sounders expansion draft quite measured up to this, but you were taken to the expansion draft from Columbus back in 2008, so you kind of know what players like Jordan are going through.
Exactly. I found out on a flight home 3 days after we won the championship. So this is a little bit different. This is absolutely insane. You guys are crazy. I hope that these players understand what they're getting themselves into, because this is a special place.
When you come in to a team where everybody is new, it's a different experience than players have had before in their life. What's the most important thing, kind of bonding and developing chemistry?
Yeah, look, these guys, I know Lewicki's, I know, the GM, that's their due diligence, is to get the guys on the same page. And you'll notice these are all hard workers. And that's the most important thing. Good guys in the locker room, sprinkled in with a couple talented players, and you'll be in the playoffs 12 straight years, just like the Sounders.
You heard Brad. Now, all right, ready to announce the contribution of this new team from the New York Rangers.
From the New York Rangers, the Seattle Kraken select Colin Blackwell.
Well, speaking of hard workers, this guy might be one of the hardest working players in the entire National Hockey League. He is bound to be a fan favorite here in Seattle. He's one of those players that just does a little bit of everything, took the scenic route to establishing himself as an NHL player. And I will tell you, Chris, the Rangers are certainly going to miss Blackwell, but the Rangers' loss is Seattle's gain.
When you join a new team, even if you're known as a hard worker, heavy motivation to show your new teammates what you're about, right?
Yeah, and Blackwell is one of these guys that continuously has to prove himself over and over, and here's another chance to continue to do that.
Ron, we talk about all the ways the players are evaluated. You make great use of analytics. It's a very forward-thinking organization. Got a great group assembled to evaluate players and to help you make these choices. But hard work doesn't always show up in the numbers. What are the components that go into selecting a guy like Blackwell?
Well, I mean, you look at a player first of all and foremost to see how he plays, and then certainly we have a talented analytical team, so we look at the numbers. We're hoping that they match up, and that makes our decision easy. And certainly in this case, this guy's a guy that comes and works hard every single night. Had a good run last year scoring goals, and we're hoping he can do the same thing for us moving forward.
Awesome. The board is filling up, but there's a lot more picks to be announced. We will take a break here, talk about the Kraken's new arena, which is beautiful, and reveal the details of the home opener in October. Pick from the Arizona Coyotes coming up, and the Canucks pick ahead too.
The 2021 NHL Expansion Draft is presented by Upper Deck. Collect the best.
And welcome back to Gasworks Park. You know, the available tickets for this event were snapped up in 8 minutes. 8 minutes online, so obviously there's overflow, literally, on the kayaks and the boats behind us. An amazing day for sailing. Kraken fans soaking up the sun. Moving along now. Next up, the contribution to this roster from the Philadelphia team. And, fans are starving for a deep Flyers playoff run, trying to shore up the defense. Number one priority in the offseason, shore up the defense. They allowed 3.5 goals a game, which is the worst. So, They did make a trade for Ryan Ellis, which will help. Kevin is at the Space Needle, which will turn 60 years old next year. There's nothing wrong with that, by the way.
No.
1962 was a very good year. Kevin.
Well, nothing says Seattle quite like the iconic Space Needle. This building was once the tallest building west of the Mississippi. We know the amazing history that it has, but it also has some awesome 360 panoramic views. So we've got the expert here, Randy. Randy, why don't you take the fans through some of what they're seeing here?
Yeah, absolutely, Kevin. It's a gorgeous day up here at the top. Of course, the most commanding views of the Seattle skyline, the Seattle waterfront down below that with the Washington State ferries, and of course the home waters of the Kraken, Elliott Bay and the Puget Sound.
Sweet.
And then a little closer in today, we have a view of Seattle Kraken superfan Paul Buxton.
Paul, what's up? Nice to meet you, man.
Kev?
Pleasure meeting you. Well, I understand that Paul has a question that he wants to ask of General Manager Ron Francis. Paul, go ahead.
Hey, Ron, who are we picking from the Flyers?
From the Philadelphia Flyers, the Seattle Kraken select Carson Twarynski.
Great quick instincts, Ron, just like he was on the ice. Bang, bang.
Yeah, Twarynski's another one of these potential picks. Twarynski only 22 NHL games under his belt, but he has size, can skate, and has the ability to develop into an asset for Ron Francis and this Kraken team down the road.
Impressive work on the internet. You've had to go to work. Next up are the Pittsburgh Penguins, but we have to introduce an absolute legend to the stage to help us make this pick. A Hockey Hall of Famer, an Olympic gold medalist, a gold medalist in the World Championships, part of the esteemed Granado hockey clan, and a scout for the Seattle Kraken, Cami Granado. Cami, welcome.
Thank you.
I mean, we appreciate your taking time. This has to be an incredibly busy last couple of weeks. The Kraken, the #2 pick on Friday night, so the whole scouting staff hard at work still.
Yeah, it was pretty great. Last couple of weeks because we knew it was so close, and we've worked a couple years on this. So this day has come. It's pretty amazing to look out at this crowd, and just really proud to be a part of it.
You're also a pioneer. There are no other full-time female scouts in professional sports. So congratulations to the Kraken organization and to you for earning that right.
Thank you very much. I hope there's more to come after this. So.
I think it's symbolic that what Ron and the Brain Trust has done is assemble a really interesting core group of people to evaluate players. There's a lot of diverse backgrounds, a lot of young people who crunch those numbers we've been talking about. Interesting group.
It is, and I think that's the thing that the ownership, Ron, and all our staff has done to keep inclusion and diversity in mind from the beginning. And it's laid such a strong foundation for our team. I feel privileged to be a part of such a great organization already.
You should be.
Yeah.
All right, let's announce the contribution from the Pittsburgh Penguins.
From the Pittsburgh Penguins, the Seattle Kraken select Brandon Tanev. And Brandon is here with us today. Brandon?
Brandon, welcome. Say hello to Cami.
How are you?
Cami, how are you?
Congrats.
What's going on, Kraken fans?
Knows how to play to the crowd, not afraid to do the dirty work in hockey. What is it about throwing your body in front of a flying puck that you like?
It's not a glamorous job, but I mean, anything the team asks is what you want to go out there and do, and the guys appreciate it in the locker room, so it's not the best thing in the world, but it's fun to get something done for the Tans and for the boys out there.
Yeah, Brandon's. I promise you, this guy will be one of your fan favorites. He hits everything that moves.
You're going to have, speaking of that, potential run-ins with your older brother Christopher in this division. He plays for Calgary. Have you guys talked already? Did you share the secret with him?
I hadn't shared the secret with him. I was going to wait for him to see it on the air tonight, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting for our family, and it's going to be a special thing to play against him. I see you guys are all laughing at my headshot from last year. I appreciate that.
What happened just before the picture was taken, Brandon?
To be honest with you, I saw a ghost, so that's the story I'm going with, and I'm sticking with that one all the way.
Was that your reaction when you heard about the Kraken selection? Or was it? All right, you're a good sport. We appreciate that. And have a great career here. Enjoy yourself. We appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Let's go Kraken.
Brandon, Cami, thank you. Next up, the Washington Capitals, like the Penguins, a team that won the Cup but has not yet followed it up with the deep run. Older roster, one of the oldest rosters in the NHL. but still an entertaining, high-scoring team. So let's see who the pick is from Washington. Ron?
From the Washington Capitals, the Seattle Kraken select Vitek Vanacek.
So another goaltender.
Yeah, like Chris Drieger. This is another goaltender, Chris, who spent years in the minors before finally getting a chance at the NHL level. After Henrik Lundqvist was unable to play this season and Ilya Samsonov went down with an injury, helped lead Washington through a great regular season before getting injured early in the playoffs. So along with Drieger, I expect these guys to be a more than solid goaltending tandem here in Seattle.
He's had a good rookie year, 6th in the voting for the Calder Trophy. We talked earlier about the importance of the goaltending position. All right, that's the pick from the Capitals. We will take a pause here and come back. Look at this beautiful scene in Seattle.
The 2021 NHL Expansion Draft is presented by Upper Deck. Collect the best.
'21 NHL Expansion Draft presented by Upper Deck continues from Seattle as we fill out the first ever roster for the 32nd NHL franchise, the Seattle Kraken. We're going to go now to the Central Division. Arizona's moving to the Central to make way for the Kraken in the Pacific. It's the only tweak to the divisions going back to the pre-pandemic season, which is nice. But it's time now to reveal the Kraken home opener details. October 23rd is the day to put in your calendars. Who would you like the opponent to be? If you could choose, who would it be? I think they're going to like the answer. The first ever Kraken opponent here in Seattle with the building rocking will be the Vancouver Canucks. Natural geographic rival. It's about 2.5 hours north up on I-5. Borders open soon. And look out, Canucks, because they're going to meet all this energy when they head down here. Speaking of Climate Pledge Arena, just an incredibly expensive and elaborate and beautiful remodel to this arena, which of course was the home of the Sonics, but you're not going to recognize it at all. And it's going to be rocking in. Tremendous number of talented, hardworking folks took great pride in creating this. You could see it literally from the ground up. And Kevin is going to be with some of those folks who made this arena happen to set up the next pick. Kevin.
This is very exciting, Chris. These are the women, men, and the people that are building this beautiful state-of-the-art Climate Pledge Arena as we're getting ready for the first game versus the Vancouver Canucks October 23rd. You all have a lot of work to do. That being said, I'm going to turn it over to you, Brad. Brad, how close are we to completion?
90%, and we'll be 100% come opening night.
Whoa, 100% come opening night?
100% ready to go.
You heard it from him. With that being said, the Seattle Kraken select from the Arizona Coyotes. Richie, the honor's yours.
His locker's going to be just a little bit bigger. That is Tyler Pitlick.
Well,
Tyler, excited here. Guys, back to you.
Tyler's a centerman who's bounced around the last few years with different teams, but he's a solid two-way player, Chris. Responsible and reliable in his own end. He can chip in offensively as well. Again, centers are hard to come by in this draft, so adding Pitlick gives Seattle a player that can do the job down the middle on the third or fourth line.
You heard the guys mention it. Tyler and all the other Kraken team members will be psyched when they see the new dressing room.
Oh, it's going to be absolutely beautiful.
All right, next up, this is an important part of the program for me. I grew up in Rockford, Illinois, home of the Ice Hogs. That's a Blackhawks farm team. And then the Avalanche right after that, so that's another team. So I'm very eager to see who the Kraken will poach for these next two teams. To help us make these selections, please welcome to the stage yet more legends, big hockey fans, better known as Sonics superstars, Gary Payton and Sean Kemp. Sean, welcome. Gary, I have never met a basketball player that is not in awe and full of respect for the athletes that hockey players are. You guys are in that camp too?
No, absolutely. I think I started watching hockey years ago. And I think a lot of us watch hockey because we like the fights. But the truth of it is, seriously, I enjoy the athleticism of these guys. They're fast. As we do on the court, we cross guys over, trick them into doing different moves and trick shots. These guys do the same thing, but they're on ice, so I think it's just as hard. So I got a lot of respect for the hockey guys. It takes a lot of talent, a lot of struggle, but I think we're going to have a good team this year.
Gary, you're a huge hockey guy.
Yeah, you know, I'm in Vegas, so I got the Knights. Then I got the San Jose Sharks. But now I got the Krakens, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's my home team now, so that's what it's going to be.
You're such a big fan, you can have 3 teams.
Yeah, hey, why not? The more the merrier. It depends on which year, which one's doing well, right?
Well, no, it's the Krakens now. That's all it's going to be now. I ain't doing nothing else. You know, them the teams I've been watching, but now this is the team I'm going to be watching all the time and be right here.
So your defensive skills, you were always known as the glove. Does that mean like what a goaltender would have been your natural position had you?
Yeah, I would have been gloving all them pucks. It wouldn't have been nothing going by me. You know what I'm saying? I would have did it all.
You guys ready? You got 2 very important picks to announce, beginning with the Chicago Blackhawks.
Well, I'm going to do that one, but let's get hype first. You know what I'm saying? Let's get hype first. You know? That's what we're talking about.
Everybody stand up.
Yes, sir. Stand up.
Stand up.
From the Chicago Blackhawks, the Seattle Kraken select John Quenneville.
Famous hockey name, Tom?
Yeah, Quenneville played last year in the AHL, but he's a former first-round pick, Chris, by the Devils in 2014. He's a centerman that plays a physical game, but also brings some speed and skill to the table. He'll compete for a spot on that Kraken 4th line.
All right, Sean. Next up, the beloved Colorado Avalanche. With so much talent, they couldn't leave everybody protected. So who's going to be a new member of the Kraken and disappoint some Avalanche fans?
Oh, man, we took Jonas Donskoy.
Jonas Donskoy.
That's what we got. That's the man.
He's got skills.
Yes.
Now, Donskoy is a difference-making player. He's a tremendous playmaker, and on a stacked Colorado Avalanche roster, he's a great addition to this Kraken team. He had a career-high 17 goals last season, and might be another one of those picks that the analytics played a key role. Donskoy had a plus 15 goal differential at 5-on-5, Chris. That was good for 3rd on the team behind superstars Rantanen and McKinnon. So Donskoy is the real deal, folks.
Oh, he is. I mean, Avalanche will be sorry to see him. You guys are going to enjoy watching him put pucks in the net here in Seattle. Next up, the Dallas Stars. And we've got another Washington area wrinkle here. Right? Have you ever climbed Mount Rainier? Put that on your bucket list. I recommend it.
I'm not the mountain climber that you are. So.
It's a beautiful, beautiful thing to do. And we're going to take you on the slopes of Mount Rainier. Not quite the 14,000-foot summit, but record-breaking mountaineer Andrew Hughes earlier today made the trek up the approach to the snow-capped peak, where you want to put on crampons and ropes and be very careful, as these folks know. So from 10,000 feet, the highest altitude pick ever announced. Let's go to Andrew Hughes.
Nice.
From the Dallas Stars in the 2021 NHL Expansion Draft, the Seattle Kraken pick Jamie Oleksiak.
And let's welcome Jamie Oleksiak wearing his Kraken home jersey. Jamie, welcome.
Thank you.
How does it feel to wear a brand new jersey and walk out and see new fans who are giving you a standing ovation? I think there's just a holdover from Gary and Sean, but they're on their feet for you.
First off, how we doing, Seattle? All right. I'm loving the energy. You know, I'm excited to get the season going. You know, I'm sure the building's going to be rocking, and you know, it's great to be here. Beautiful day here, and just taking in the whole atmosphere. So, you know, I'm happy to be here.
Jamie, you signed a new contract with the Kraken. What made you decide to want to choose to be here for the next few years?
You know what? I think it was just too good of an opportunity to pass up on. I mean, talking to Ron and everyone in the front office, you know, the city's fantastic, the facilities, and the direction of the team, and obviously the fans. I mean, you know, it's a lot of support here, and I'm just excited to get it going, like I said. So it was really no-brainer for me, and I'm excited.
You joined a defensive core up here. I wonder, do players' wheels begin to turn immediately? Do you look at some of the guys up there and begin to think about like defensive tandems, or are you just here so far just enjoying the party and the scene?
Yeah, right now I'm just soaking it all in, you know. I mean, great list of guys here. I can't wait to meet them all. And, I think it's a new team. It offers a lot of opportunities for guys. And I think it's just, it's going to be a lot of fun getting to know these guys and being in training camp and whatnot. And like I said, it's an exciting time to be a Kraken fan, I think.
Yeah, we just saw some big guys leave the stage. Jamie is actually officially the heaviest player in the entire National Hockey League. So welcome to the Kraken.
But it's not fat, right?
It's pure muscle.
Yeah, we'll take it. I'll take that.
All right, Jamie, thanks very much. We appreciate that. Good luck to you, folks. Jamie Alexiak. All right, Ron, you have the podium. Next up, the Minnesota Wild.
From the Minnesota Wild, the Seattle Kraken select Carson Soucy.
Well, I'm seeing a trend here. We just saw Jamie Alexiak, a physical force, and that's exactly what Carson Soucy is here. Another punishing defenseman who will crush opponents in his own zone. He's established himself as a solid third pair defenseman. I can already see a pair developing with Soucy and Alexiak coming together. Pretty intimidating pair to go up against.
You said that a few times, so it's clear the personality of the team is taking shape. You've used the word physical, intimidating, dirty work a lot in this conversation.
There's roles to fill, right? And you got to have guys that do a little bit of everything, and they all have a place to fill, and they're complementary parts. That's exactly what Ron and his team have done here.
Well, let's meet the guy who's going to be responsible for helping build this chemistry, bringing all these pieces together in the dressing room. The coach, Dave Haxtell. Dave, what's your reaction to all this?
Unbelievable, isn't it? This is awesome. Let's go Kraken.
Now, you're obviously not caught by surprise here. You're well aware of the picks that are made. So what is your initial message to this group of guys when you get them together about the opportunity for them and the expectations for them?
Well, I think we all know and understand real quickly, as soon as you enter the city of Seattle and get a feel for everything that's going on here, you understand the outstanding opportunity that's here. The message is this: let's come together, let's play hard for one another, and let's play hard for the city of Seattle.
And Coach, you've got a blank slate, a really unique opportunity here, and there's a lot of talk about culture and identity. What are some of the key messages, the culture things that you're going to preach to the players early on?
Well, it's one of the things that I just talked about. We want to have a group of guys that, know what it is to be a great teammate, know what it is to be a competitive teammate and push one another to be at their very best. We want to have a bunch of selfless guys in our locker room that know how to go out, play hard together, and win together.
Yeah, and it's certainly unmistakable, the character and quality that's on that board already. So good luck.
No question. Thank you.
Yeah, unique challenge and opportunity for a player and also for a coach. This is like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to inherit brand new guys.
It is. We talked about the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity of starting from the ground up, and to be a small part of that, to have an opportunity to join everybody that has done so much work over the past couple of years. It's just an awesome opportunity. And today, to see this board fill up, really brings it into focus for all of us. We can't wait to get going.
Opener October 12th in Vegas, and then these folks will have the building rocking when the Canucks come down from the north on October 23rd. Wish you the best.
It's going to be special.
Dave Haxtell, coach of the Seattle Kraken, likes what he sees so far. Much more coming up from Seattle. Pacific Division still ahead.
The 2021 NHL Expansion Draft is presented by Upper Deck. Collect the best.
Welcome back to this unique event, the brand new NHL roster being assembled in front of our eyes here in Seattle. And plenty more names to fill out this draft board. It's a crazy scene. Did you expect this?
No, it's just blown us away for sure.
I know fans here love hockey, we're hungry for it, but this is still a display to North America how much hockey means to these folks and how pumped up they are for the new franchise. Next up, the Nashville Predators' contribution to the Kraken. A couple interesting names left unprotected. Some news there. Goaltending icon, Pekka retiring last week, so a little bit of transition there. And we're going to go to beast mode to have the next pick allowed. Folks here know what that means. Kevin, with a very special, iconic Seattle guest.
Listen, I got to go to the source. I got to go to the original. That is beast mode yourself. So take us through what you think the Kraken have to do to hit a beast mode level from the start of the season.
Oh, man, that's going to be realistically, I just believe that since, it's really a real physical sport, I think they just got to go out there and put a real physical presence, you feel me, though, early and often. And I mean, that just to show them, like, the Seattle style of play.
Yep.
And I think they'd be all right.
Yep.
Yeah.
I feel you. All right. Hey,
definitely.
listen, that makes perfect sense to me, and I'm sure it does to you great fans at home, too. With that being said, the Seattle Kraken select from the Nashville Predators. Marshawn, take it away.
Let's see. So, this the first pick, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, with the first pick, we're going with the boy Cali, though. You know what I'm talking about?
Yup, Cali Yarncrow.
Cali Yarncrow.
You just heard it. Cali Yarncrow to the Kraken from Beast Mode himself. Thank you so much as always. Appreciate you.
Hey, and look,
don't leave me hanging.
Cali, if I didn't pronounce it right, tap in with me and let me know how to do it the right way, big dog.
You heard it from him.
Straight up.
You heard it from him directly. Fellas, back to you over at Gasworks Park.
Close enough. I mean, hockey names can be tricky. Tell us about this guy, Cali.
Yeah, Yarncroc had a career year last year, 28 points last season. He's a player that plays both the power play and the penalty kill, Chris. There's not many players in the league that do that, so he's a versatile and productive player. And you mentioned some of those bigger names. This guy is arguably a better player at a fraction of the price, so a phenomenal addition to this Kraken roster.
It's part of the art, right? You look at what guys have done, then you try to anticipate how they will do with much more ice time and much more opportunity, and that's been very successful for teams over the years, expansion draft or not, but Vegas included.
Yeah, absolutely, and there's a lot of underrated, undervalued players that are playing behind some of those protected players we've seen, and they're going to flourish here in Seattle.
Getting to wrap up the Central Division, next up the St. Louis Blues, but to help us make this pick, another Seattle legend to the stage, please welcome the All-Pro linebacker from the Seahawks, Bobby Wagner. Bobby, welcome.
How you doing?
Speaking of physical presence, the pick you announced better be a tough, nasty dude.
I hope so. I'm glad it's an easy name.
You don't want Marchand's name?
Yeah, I saw Marchand's name. That was a good try.
I think you got this one.
I hope so.
Ready?
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. They're ready.
All right. From the St. Louis Blues, the Seattle select Vince Dunn.
Vince Dunn, if you're looking for a player that will become a star after moving to Seattle, Vince Dunn is your guy. He's played behind, Chris, some really good defensemen in St. Louis between Alex Pietrangelo and now Torrey Krug, Justin Falk, and Colton Parayko. Dunn is an offensive defenseman. He's agile, smart, skilled, and he'll be really excited to come to Seattle to prove what he can do.
All right, so that was a pretty easy name, but you ready for the second pick that you're responsible for from the Winnipeg Jets?
The Seattle Kraken select Mason Appleton. Too easy name.
Yeah, another easy name right there. Appleton had a breakout season for the Jets this past year. 25 points in 56 games. He's a skilled playmaker, and at only 25, he's only going to get better over the next few years. You can already see some of these forward lines taking shape here in Seattle with some of the guys they've been adding. I'm telling you, this is going to be a good group. I think Dave Haxtell is already licking his chops to get out there on the ice for training camp.
All right, we thank Bobby as we shift now to the final division to announce today. Of course, the Pacific Division, the division of the Seattle Kraken will call home. As you look at the draft board for Friday night's NHL Draft, you'll notice something here. 5 of the 9 teams, including Seattle picking at number 2, are from this Pacific Division. So it's a division of opportunity for a brand new team.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You look at this draft order, and what it tells you is that there's a real opportunity for the Kraken to do some damage here in their inaugural season. So a lot of things to look forward to come training camp and finally when we start these games in October.
Plenty of intrigue Friday night, ESPN2, and on Sportsnet, 8 o'clock Eastern time. All right, time now for the pick from the Anaheim Mighty Ducks off a very rough season. Last in the West, second worst in the league, and the third straight year they've missed the playoffs. Fewest goals per game. So they've got young talent to develop. They're a rebuilding phase, but maybe not a whole bunch of guys to choose from.
Yeah.
So we will find out. We're going to bring in the special guest from the Anchorage, Alaska Hockey Academy. The Kraken are openly courting fans from all over the place, and folks up in Alaska are invited to become fans of this new franchise. So let's hear from some of these folks.
From the Anaheim Ducks, the Seattle Kraken select Hayden Fleury. Please
Another
welcome Hayden
Fleury.
Fleury to the stage.
How's it going?
Hayden, welcome.
Thank you.
All right, so you'll notice, folks, there are now two Flurries up there, happen to be brothers. What was your reaction, realizing you're going to be playing with him? When's the last time you guys played together in the same team?
I think we're probably 5 and 3 years old, so hometown back in Saskatchewan. So no, really exciting day for my family, my mom and dad, and my brother.
It's
awesome.
And you have some familiarity with Ron, and what does that mean to you coming to this franchise, knowing that you have someone that drafted you back in Carolina?
Yeah, no, it means a lot. He believed in me back when I was 18, and he continues to do that to this day. So I'm really thankful for everything he's done for me in my hockey career, and just prove him right.
Absolutely. Talk about opportunity, because it's not always easy to find. You're going to have a massive opportunity and expectations here as well to contribute right away.
I think the trade to Anaheim helped me a lot. I think I got to play, the way I think I can play, and just continue that here in Seattle, in front of the best fans in the NHL.
What's the first thing you tell Kale when you guys get on the phone about being brand new teammates?
He FaceTimed me this morning, and he said Bergevin called him and said he's a Kraken, and we instantly called my parents and brought him into the call, and it was just it was a really special day. My mom, I think, was crying. I don't know. I couldn't see her, but it was a really exciting day, and I just couldn't be more proud of him, and just ready for him to be my teammate.
Yeah, if you haven't played together since you were 5 and 3, I'd say it's about time. Wish you the best.
Yeah, thank you
Good
very
luck
much.
to both Fleury brothers here with the Seattle Kraken. It's a cool story. I don't know if there's another set of brothers on the same team. We'll have to look that up.
Yeah, we got to get the initial on the back of that jersey once they're both on the ice together.
Well, the draft board is filling up, as you can see, but still some names to reveal, including the rivals from the Pacific Division. So much more ahead from Seattle.
The 2021 NHL Expansion Draft is presented by Upper Deck. Collect the best.
Folks have grabbed up Seattle merch all over the place. Those are the Thunderbirds, but they will soon be in Kraken jerseys. Next up, the contribution from the Calgary Flames. And to help make this pick, some folks who have been instrumental in helping Seattle through what's been a very difficult last 18 months. It has been for the entire planet, but we want to salute some very important workers who've helped all of you folks here in Seattle try to stay as healthy as possible and get healthy. And so let's go back to Kevin for that.
I'm here now at Virginia Mason Franciscan Health in Seattle. The hospital is the founding partner of the Kraken and the official medical provider for the team. I'm sure that you can all agree the medical team here have gone above and beyond in this last year and a half. They are the true MVPs. We're going to get to the picks, but before we do, Ankit, I want to ask you, why is it so important for the Kraken to partner with the hospital here?
Well, here at Virginia Mason Franciscan Health, we already have a family to help take care of the community. But now we got a family to help take care of our new hockey team, the Seattle Kraken. Yeah. Let's go Kraken!
With that being said, the Seattle Kraken select from the Calgary Flames, Sandia.
Mark Giordano.
You can tell they're pumped up. They're hyped up here in Seattle, in the OR, they're pumped. Chris, Dom, over to you at Gasworks Park.
Fans just got to their feet here when the name was announced.
Standing ovation, well-deserved. Mark Giordano, you want to talk about adding character and leadership for the birth of a franchise? Who better to add than one of the best leaders in the league? Mark Giordano former winner of the Norris Trophy for the best defenseman in the league. So folks, a really exciting addition here today.
And let's bring him out. Mark Giordano, new member of the Seattle Kraken. A lifelong Flame until right now. Mark, welcome.
Congrats.
Thank you. I mean, you've had an incredible tenure in Calgary, one of the longest tenures at a single franchise in the league. Is this a little bit of a surreal experience to walk out here and see folks in blue jerseys and not red and think of Seattle as your new home?
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. It feels a little bit different today, but it's been a crazy last day or so. But hey, this is the first time in my career I've ever been drafted. So thank you to the Kraken, and I'm happy to be here.
Mark's referring to the fact that he was never drafted. He earned his way as a free agent into this league, had to earn everything he got, and that chip on his shoulder has carried you a long way. I know how well you take care of yourself. You know, now at the age you're at in your career, is this an invigorating time to be a part of a new franchise like this?
Yeah, like I said, it was a little bit weird yesterday knowing that I wasn't going to go back to Calgary, but coming into the city, driving in, this is my first time here. It's a beautiful city, and you could feel the buzz. So I'm ready to go, and I feel great.
We talked about the newness of the experience for all the players. They're going to be looking to a guy like you. You've been a captain, I think, 7 or 8 years up there, so leadership is at a premium and building that kind of chemistry. What do you think your message will be to younger teammates who come seek you out sort of for that role here in Seattle?
Yeah, just offer them any advice I can really give them as an older guy who's been around for a long time. I think, as you guys see, we have a fairly young team, a lot of young talent, but that's the NHL now. So many guys who are superstars in our league are under the age of 25, so looking forward to helping out as much as I can.
Amazing. Take care of yourself, man. 37 with a whole lot more years to go and a brand new home after a 15-year run in Calgary. Mark Giordano, welcome to Seattle. Next up, the Edmonton Oilers contribution and another special guest from the Seattle Mariners. Folks, please welcome Kyle Lewis. Kyle, welcome. Rocking the merch. What do you think of this scene in your city here?
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable me being a part of it. You know, me just getting early on in my career and seeing the fan base and the energy they have for the sports is unbelievable.
Have you seen an NHL game in person yet in your life?
I have seen a couple NHL games, but now I'll be going to more, definitely.
I haven't seen any with the energy in the building maybe you're going to see here, right?
This energy is going to be second to none. I already know it.
All right. Kyle has the pick from the Edmonton Oilers. The time has come.
From the Edmonton Oilers, the Seattle Kraken select Adam Larsson.
And Larsson is a great complementary defenseman in your top 4. He's experienced over 600 NHL games, and I can already see him playing alongside Vince Dunn as that complementary pair. And like Jamie Alexiak, Larsson is a guy that just signed a new contract here to join the Kraken, chose to be here, so a significant addition here for Seattle and for Ron Francis.
That's a different path to this team, isn't it? The guy who was signed and not drafted and chose to cast his lot with your new franchise, Ron.
A week or so, but he chose to sign with us, and that's very exciting for us that we were able to get players to do that during this short window.
So plenty of younger players and now extreme experience with the last couple of picks.
Absolutely.
Now time for the LA Kings, another rebuilding team in the Pacific Division. Slumped badly down the stretch and missed the playoffs now 3 years in a row. They protected 7 forwards and 3 defensemen. The young talent on the Kings, Ron, not eligible to be taken in this draft. So who is the contribution from LA to the Kraken?
From the Los Angeles Kings, the Seattle Kraken select Curtis McDermott.
Another defenseman?
Yeah, we saw some of our special guests. They wanted someone that could take care of business. McDermott is a big, tough forward, and he'll be a good fit on that 3rd or 4th line. He's 6'5", 233. And for Kraken fans who like a good show, this guy will bring it with his physicality. He's also a player, Chris, that will stand up for his teammates, if you know what I mean.
I do. 6'5", 230. You don't want to be in his bad side. And again, it's a theme. We've seen plenty of guys taken like that are physical and don't mind mixing it up.
Yeah, and it's all about filling roles, right? And that's what Ron and his staff have tried to do here is you've got a little bit of everything, and together it makes a whole.
All right, time now for the San Jose Sharks pick. Another fan base that is looking to improve and make some moves in the offseason. They haven't been terribly aggressive so far. Let's go back to the Seattle Aquarium, where Kevin is hanging out. He continues to do a great job winding down over there. Kevin, take it away.
Here we are at Seattle Aquarium, where inspiring conservation of our marine environment is the mission. This exhibit in behind me has over 120,000 gallons of water and our diver named Carrie. Carrie, any sharks in there?
There are no sharks in this exhibit. However, we do have a shark that is about to become a kraken.
And with that, the Seattle Kraken select from the San Jose Sharks,
Alexander True.
Chris and Dom, back to you at Gasworks Park.
Kevin, great job today. We appreciate your hustle.
Well, it would be false to assume that True will be part of this roster in the coming season, but he's a 6'5", good playmaking ability forward, and 19 NHL games under his belt, and he's a player that will compete for a spot and hopefully continue to develop for Seattle.
I see what you waited 90 minutes until the show to get that. I'll give you one. All right, just one more team to contribute a player to this brand new franchise, the team that we talked about visiting Seattle for the home opener, October 23rd. It's a frustrated fan base north of the border. In fact, I like what the Kraken social media has been doing, actively kind of poking at the Canucks by recruiting fans who are frustrated up there to be a part of the Seattle.
Yeah, there's a little bit of trolling online, isn't there?
2.5-hour drive away. You can take a ferry up there. You can take a scenic train. Lots of ways to get between. And obviously, these two teams are going to emerge as rivals. So to announce the final pick of this 2021 expansion draft, let's please welcome to the stage the ownership group, Jerry Bruckheimer, Dave Wright, and Andy Sassy. Folks, the people who made this happen. Welcome, fellas.
Congratulations.
Welcome. I know you want to show your appreciation for the job that Ron Francis and his group have done in putting together this roster.
We are the luckiest city in the world to have Ron Francis and his team select our players and be part of this fantastic organization. From our owners, the Lewicki brothers, who've done an amazing job, David Bonderman, who put this whole thing together and selected us and everybody else. We're so thrilled to be here for the fans. And these are the men who will make this franchise great. And we have great partners, Andy and David here.
Those are great final words. It's a great pep talk. We hope you've enjoyed this presentation. Let's bring out the 6 new members of the Seattle Kraken in their official jerseys as soon as we get the Vancouver pick. So, Jerry, that is yours, and then we'll get to these guys.
With the last selection from the Vancouver Canucks, the Seattle Kraken select Cole Lind.
Canuck fans thought they were going to get him over that. Should be a player, but no.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's Cole Lind, 22 years old, from Swiss Current. He's got a lot of room to develop, and again, building for the future here in Seattle.
Here they are, the 6 new members of the Kraken who've made the journey to Seattle to be joined by 24 others and make up this historic roster in this brand new NHL franchise in front of this great fan base in this beautiful city. A long time coming. And finally, these guys up here made this happen, and now the team, the draft board is full. And many more moves to be made, so stay tuned as the number 2 pick in the NHL draft on Friday night will be revealed. Don.
Yeah, this was just the first step, so a lot of things to look forward to here for the Kraken.
And for these fans as well. Guys, we appreciate it. Good luck to all you on the stage. Thanks for making us feel so at home. We could not be more pumped up to welcome this brand new team. Let's get cracking, indeed. October 12th in Vegas. October 23rd is the home opener against the Vancouver Canucks. The schedule reveal is tomorrow at 6 o'clock Eastern as part of SportsCenter. And again, the draft is Friday night. Check your local listings. Thanks for joining. We'll see you soon.